Now we move towards our next question. Discuss the continuity of the functions f where f is defined by. The first question here comes 14th under this heading. The question is f of x is equal to 3 if x is between 0 and 1. It is 4 when x is between 1 and 3, and it is 5 when x is 3 and 10, between 3 and 10. So we start its solution. Here you can see that we have 2 turning points for this particular question. That is this 1 and then 3 is turning at both, and then 10 has only single loop, and 0 is also having single loop. So as you can see, there are actually 4 points: 0, 1, 3, 10. 0, 1, 3 and 10, but the function turns at only 2 points. 2 points means this one left and right, and then 3 left and right, but we don't have this right for 10 and then left for 0. So the only 2 points, 2 turning points, x is equal to 1 and 3. So therefore we will be checking continuity at x is equal to 1 and 3. Function will be continuous at x is equal to 0 and 10. Already single loop, so in single loop, as I discussed earlier, the function will be continuous, as these 2 points move only in one direction, single loop, so that's why continuous. Now we will check its continuity at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3 only. Thus left hand limit at x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1, we will try to find out the left hand limit. Left hand limit means 1 minus superscript f of x equals to limit h tends to 0. Now we are taking left hand limit at plus 1, so plus 1. So in place of x we will put 1 minus h, but there is no variable in the definition of function, everywhere constant. So when x is less than 1 means the function's value will be this one, that is 3. Okay, next we'll take this, mark it as 1 and move towards the right hand limit. The right hand limit at x is equal to 1 plus f of x. Now we'll put 1 plus h. 1 plus h when x is greater than 1, this condition. At this point the value of function is 4, so it is 4, equation number 2. Now as you can see, the left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. From 1 and 2 it is clear, therefore function is not continuous at x is equal to 1. So let us now go for checking its continuity at x is equal to 3. Again left hand limit at x is equal to 3. 3 left hand side, that means 3 minus h. So left hand side of 3 means x is less than 3. When x is less than 3, this one, then the value of function is 4. So we put here 4. Now for the right hand limit, this is equation number 3, and the right hand limit at x is equal to 3. X is equal to, this is plus 3 plus f of x is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of 3 plus h. Now when x is greater than 3, the function's value is 5, so we have put here 5, equation number 4. Now from equation 3 and 4 we conclude, what we conclude, that left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore function is also not continuous at x is equal to 3. So these 2 points, x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3, are the 2 points of discontinuity for this particular question, question number 14. Now question number 15 is also a similar question that you will be solving. Just I give you some hints. Here we have x is less than 0 and x is greater than 0. That means 0 will be included as a turning point, because here we have two loops. When x is less than 0, the function's value is 2x, and when x is greater than 0, the function's value is 0. And the another point is x is less than 1 and x is greater than 1. So we'll take the continuity of this question is also like previous. In previous question we checked that x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3, and for this question we will check its continuity at x is equal to 0 and 1. So the idea and the procedure is so simple. You can attempt when you are taking left hand limit at 0, so you will be putting 0 minus h for x, and this x would be replaced by this 0 minus h. Now when you will be taking right hand limit at 0, so you will be putting 0 plus h in place of x in the function, and at that point the value is already given 0, so you no need of changing any variable, so directly you will be putting the right hand limit as 0. Now for x is equal to 1, for the left hand limit x is less than 1, so you will be putting 1 minus h in place of x. At that point when x is less than 1, the value of function is 0, so you will be putting it equal to 0. And when you take at last the right hand limit at 1, so it should be 1 plus h, and when you will be taking right hand limits, then the function will be 4x, then you will put 4 into 1 plus h, then finding the limit at h tends to 0 and so and so, then you can easily find out at what point it is continuous, at what point it is discontinuous. So very simple, you can attempt. Similarly, question number 16 also of the same category. Here also we have 2 points. One is x is equal to minus 1 and the second one is x is equal to plus 1. So same thing, minus 1 minus h, minus 1 plus h. For minus 1, this is for right hand limit and this is for left hand limit. And then for plus 1, 1 minus h and 1 plus h. These are the points which you will be putting in this function. And when left hand limit at x is equal to minus 1, function is constant, and for right hand limit for x is equal to minus 1, the function is 2x, so x will be replaced. And when you are taking x is equal to plus 1, so the left hand limit again 2x, so 2 into 1 minus h, and for the right hand limit the function is constant. So easily you can find out at what point it is continuous, at what point it is discontinuous. I hope you can do. Next question is question number 17. Find the relationship between a and b so that the function f defined by this relationship, the function f of x is ax plus 1 when x is less than or equal to 3, and bx plus 3 if x is greater than 3, is continuous at x is equal to 3. Now this question is interesting and little different than the previous ones. In what reference this question is different? Because find the relationship between a and b. That means your answer should be something like linear equation or maybe quadratic or whatever it is. The answer should be in a and b. How the answer? It is already given that the function is continuous. Means what we used to do previously, that we were taking left hand limit and then right hand limit and then proving that both the limits are equal, then function is continuous, and then f of a, that should be limit x tends to a, all these values must be identical, same. But in this question that part is already done, that it is already given that continuous function is continuous at x is equal to 3. That means left hand limit equal to right hand limit is also equal to f of the point where the question is asked for continuity, f of 3, or that also can be taken as limit x tends to 3 f of x. Now out of these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can take any two in the beginning, later on we can take any two for this relationship, and then we can equate them. We can equate and then we can prove that this function is continuous. So let us go for the solution. Since it is given the question that the function f of x is continuous at x is equal to 3, that is left hand limit equals to right hand limit. Clear? For the continuity. Therefore, finding the left hand limit and the right hand limit of this function f of x and making them equal as per the demand of the question, as it is asked that function is continuous, already continuous. So we will take all the conditions of the continuity and considering these are true. So then thus left hand limit at x is equal to 3, that is left hand limit at x is equal to 3, that is limit x tends to 3 minus, which denotes left hand side, f of x equals to limit h tends to 0, f of 3 minus h. Now when we have taken this left side, so the functions will be ax plus 1. So limit h tends to 0, a into, instead of x now 3 minus h from here. Okay, and then plus 1 is this one, so plus 1 directly here. So now taking limit h tends to 0, this a into h will become 0 and then 3a plus 1 will remain, equation number 1. Similarly, the right hand limit at x is equal to 3, that is limit x tends to, this is plus 3h, f of x equals to limit h tends to 0, f of 3 plus h. Now instead of 3 minus h we will put 3 plus h, but the function also will be different. Now this time since x is greater than 3, so the value of function will be bx plus 3. So limit h tends to 0, b into x means 3 plus h, and then plus 3 this one here. Now b into h, again taking limit h tends to 0, this becomes 0, then 3b plus 3 we have, 3b plus 3, this is value of right hand limit, equation number 2. Now since the function is continuous at x is equal to 3, therefore the left hand limit, equation number 1 must be equal to 2 and then left hand limit must be equal to right hand limit. Therefore 3a plus 1 equals to 3b plus 3. 3a plus 1 is equal to 3b plus 3. So this is the relationship which we were looking for, 3a and then taking 3b to the left hand side and 1 to the right hand side. So 3 minus 1 becomes 2 here and 3a minus 3b is the required relationship between a and b. So this was the question, find the relationship between a and b, so that we found here. So that's all about this question. Next is number 18. For what value of lambda is the function defined by f of x is equal to lambda into x square minus 2x if x is less than or equal to 0, and function is 4x plus 1 if x is greater than 0. The function is continuous at x is equal to 0. Then what about continuity at x is equal to 1? Now here we have two parts of this question, first part and second part. First I discuss about first part. the function is already continuous at x is equal to 0. Now look at here, this is the turning point of the function turns at 0. So that means like this is 0, x is equal to 0. So 0 minus h, again same thing, 0 minus h and 0 plus h this side. So these are the two things we need to keep in mind. So for what value of, the question is for what value of lambda this function is continuous at x is equal to 0. That means we need to understand in other way, this function is already continuous. It is already continuous. That means left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. Got it? So this function is already continuous. That also can be written as f of 0, that is equal to we can make it equal to left hand limit is equal to right hand limit at x is equal to 0 is equal to f of 0 is equal to limit x tends to 0 f of 0. So these all four conditions must, and we can take any two at a time. So these four, 1, 2, 3 and 4 must be equal for continuity of the function. So in this case, first of all, for first x is equal to 0, this function is continuous. So we start first, and then later, what about continuity at x is equal to 1? Then we are asked to find out the continuity at x is equal to 1. That I will discuss little later. So we start here for this. So I do it here like taking left hand limit at x is equal to 0. So I am writing here directly limit h tends to 0. Now we are taking left hand limit, so we will put 0 minus h. What we will put? 0 minus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0, and then f of 0 minus h means function. When x is less than 0, the function is this one, lambda into x square means 0 minus h whole square, this x square we have written here, 0 minus h whole square minus 2 times x means 0 minus h, bracket, big bracket closed. So lambda times, let us solve it a little. So limit h tends to 0. Now lambda times 0 minus h and minus h whole square is plus h whole square. Then 0 minus h and minus into minus plus 2h. Now solving for limit, since h is present in both the terms, so overall value of this function will be 0. So lambda into 0 is equal to 0. Equation number 1. Now we'll go for the right hand limit. Right hand limit at x is equal to 0. So again directly I am writing limit h tends to 0, f of 0 plus h equals to limit h tends to 0. Now because we are taking left hand limit, so therefore this value of the function x is greater than 0, so the value of the function will be 4x plus 1. So 4 into x is what? 0 plus h, then plus 1 and then plus 1. Okay, so let us solve it a little. Limit h tends to 0, 0 plus h, and then plus 1. So now when we take this limit at 0, when x is greater than 0, so 4 times 0 plus h already we have put here. So this should be 4 into 0, 0, and then 4 into h, here should be 4h, and then plus 1. Then taking limit h tends to 0, so this should be equal to 1. Now look at here, when we have taken this h tends to 0, in case of this limit, left hand limit, so then overall this value becomes 0. Even lambda has also gone with the 0, and the right hand limit is giving 1. So already question is continuous at x is equal to 0. And what is left hand limit? 0. And what is right hand limit? 1. So this is a rather mathematically, if we say this is nonsense, how 1 can be equal to 0. So now what is this wrong statement is found here? Means what does it mean? What we can conclude from it? Because this is mathematically impossible. 1 cannot be equal to 0. 0 is nothing and 1 is 1 something. So got some value. So now what does it mean? This statement means there will be no value of lambda. Lambda has no value. For that this function is continuous. Means for any value of lambda this function will not be continuous. Okay, for no value of, since lambda vanishes, so for no value of lambda this function is continuous. Means you understood fully? Okay, so that is all about first part, and now moving towards second part. I hope this much is clear. Shall I move ahead? Okay, so now what about continuity at x is equal to 1? As I told you earlier, since this x is equal to 1 will fall into this category, since x is greater than 0 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. All these points will fall into this category. And as you know, there is no loop, no double loop in this particular point when x is equal to 1 or 2 or 3. No doubt when it was 0 we had 2 loops, but for case of 1 or 2 or so on we have only single loop. And as I had already explained, for single loop the function will be always continuous for all its real values in its domain. So what about continuity at x is equal to 1? So we will say that the function will be continuous at x is equal to 1. Not for 1, if it is 2, then for 2 also it will be continuous. I hope it is clear. Understood? So mathematically also we can write it as this limit x tends to 0 or whatever we are putting, so that value is 1, f of 0, that also can be taken here, it is equal to 0. So that means we can say that this due to single loop x is greater than 0, this function is same thing. Or because it is single loop function means otherwise also in other category also you can understand, like first question, second question, first category, like taking f of x is equal to 4x plus 1, and now there is no change, no point of turning, so x is equal to 1 means f of 1 is equal to 4 into 1 plus 1 is equal to 5, and then limit x tends to 1 f of x, what will happen? Limit x tends to 1, what is f of x? 4x plus 1. Same thing what already we have done. So that is also equal to 5. So 5 is equal to 5, hence function is continuous at x is equal to 1. So that's all about this question number 18. Question number 19. Show that the function defined by gx is equal to x minus greatest integer function. Interesting new thing you are getting. Already I have defined what is this greatest integer function, is discontinuous. Means not continuous at all integral points. Integral point means what? Starting from minus undefined to 0 and from plus 0 to plus undefined. At all these, no decimal point, no fraction is included in this, integers all are integers. In all integers, we have to prove that this function is discontinuous. Second, the definition is also given here. This x under these big brackets denotes the greatest integers function which is less than or equal to x. Now, interesting thing is, once more I am explaining, less than or equal to what? Suppose, for example, x is equal to 2, 3, minus 2 or whatever, it is already integer. So if you put it under greatest integer value, that means greatest integer 2, its value will remain 2 because it is already integer. If it is integer, it will never change. But in case of it is fraction, then we need to search nearby integer which is less than that fraction. For example, x is equal to 2.1. Now, if we put this 2.1 under this greatest integer function, what is its definition? It will search out for the integer, nearby integer which is less than this, So less than 2.1, which should be this nearby integer, so that is 2 only. In case of, in other way, you should not feel like mathematically we write it 2.53 and 2.93. So if it is 2.9 also, in that case, if we put 2.9 under these greatest integer function, this greatest integer function, what I told you, its value will be nearby but less than this particular fraction, less than this, but should be integer. So now that means simply you should understand that this fraction here you should consider 0, its value will be equal to 2 only. So what I was writing, this 2.9 will be equal to 2 only, and if it is 2.1, 2.5 or whatever, that is also equal to 2 only. Got it? So now this all integral points you are asked to prove. So we will go for the solution by taking let x is equal to 1 or 2 or whatever you want to take, you can take. Then because x is equal to 1, so left hand limit and right hand limit, that I have already explained, that h is a very small quantity which you should take, so that is there. So taking left hand limit at x is equal to 1, so what will happen, limit h tends to 0, f of 0 minus h for left hand limit, where h is a very small quantity, and we will replace the variable in the function. So limit h tends to 0. Now 0 minus h we will put in the function is gx is equal to x minus greatest integer function x. So 0 minus h is for this x, and minus let us take this let us go for the solution, checking its continuity at x is equal to 1. So finding the left hand limit at x is equal to 1. So the left hand limit will be h tends to 0 f of 1 minus h. So then left hand limit h tends to 0, we will put the values this 1 minus h in the function. So the function is x, so 1 minus h minus greatest integer function 1 minus h. So the bracket is closed here. which is equal to limit h tends to 0 1 minus h, this outside, we have opened this bracket, then minus, now this 1 minus h, you need to understand this mathematically. 1 minus h, so 1 minus h is a very small quantity, you can take it as a 0.1, h is as a 0.1 for example. Then when you subtract these two, it will become 1 minus 0.1, so 0.9. So now 0.9, I told you that after decimal you have to put this 0, then the nearest this integer will be 0. So overall its value 0.9 will be equal to 0. Integer equal to it or less than that. Less than that will happen when it is not integer. Like this case, 0.9 will becomes 0. So 1 minus h, this was without a greatest integer function, and minus greatest integer function minus 1 minus h. So 1 minus h becomes 0 here. Okay. Now taking limit h tends to 0, this h becomes 0, so we have 1. Okay. Now taking right hand limit at x is equal to 1. So again limit h tends to 0 f of 1 plus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0, this again x minus greatest integer function x is 1 plus h minus greatest integer function 1 minus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 1 plus h, here it's going to be plus 1 plus h, and then minus greatest integer function 1 plus h. Now for again 1 plus h, this is 1 plus this h is again we are taking 0.1, so when we add these two it will become 1.1. Now as I told you, equal to it or less than that, that means this 0.1 we should take it as 0, so its value will be 1. So 1 plus h is as it is 1 plus h minus this greatest integer function 1 plus h becomes 1, so its value is 1. So now this one and this one cancel and limit h tends to 0, so it is equal to 0. Now from here left hand limit and right hand limit, we check and find that since left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit, therefore this function gx equals to x minus greatest integer function x is discontinuous for all its integral points, for all its integral values. This function will be always discontinuous. You can take any point 2, 3, minus 1, minus 5, whatever. This function will be always discontinuous. That's all about this question. Towards next question. Question number 20. Is the function defined by f of x is equal to x square minus sine x plus 5 continuous at x is equal to pi, x is equal to pi? So now this function is single looped function. Single loop function. Therefore, if it is single loop function, first category, and question number first, second, third we have already solved. Like that we will be solving. So first is f of x, means f of point pi. From the question, from here instead of x we will put pi, so pi square minus sine pi plus 5. So pi square means 22/7 or anything you can write. I keep it as it is, pi square minus sine pi is 0 and then plus 5. This is equal to pi square plus 5. Pi square plus 5. Then limit x tends to pi. This is first method of first type questions. Okay, f of x. There is no change, function is not turning, so we are not using that left hand limit and right hand limit method. So limit x tends to pi, function value is x square minus sine x plus 5, which is equal to pi square minus sine pi plus 5, which is equal to pi square plus 5, then pi square plus 5. Now look, limit x tends to pi, pi square plus 5, and this value f of pi, which is again pi square plus 5, these two are equal, hence function is continuous at x is equal to pi. So this way we will be solving. Next question is question number 21. Discuss the continuity of the following functions. This is also these all a, b, c are also of similar type, that is first type only. No doubt here we have sine x plus cos x. For example, I take it this thing, the point is not given. The difference between question number 20 and 21 is, here we had point x is equal to pi and here we don't have point. You remember I had already discussed in my previous videos that when point is not given, you can take it, let any real number a or c belongs to R. This is point where you need to check the continuity. So let the first function for f of x is equal to sine x plus cos x. So you will put f of a is equal to sine a plus cos a. This is equation number 1. Then second is limit x tends to a f of x, which is equal to limit x tends to a sine x plus cos x, which is equal to limit. Now we take direct limit here, so we get what we get, sine a plus cos a. So this is equation number 2. From 1 sine a plus cos a, from 2 sine a plus cos a. So that means these two values are equal. So the function is continuous at x is equal to a. Hence for every real number this question will be continuous. Similarly second part and then third part. I hope it is clear. Very simple, very small question. Then next 22nd, discuss the continuity of the cosine, cosecant, secant, tangent, cotangent, like that. There are 6 trigonometric ratios that any can be asked at any time. So for this question, how you will start? For example, this comes, then you will be writing f of x is equal to sine x. Let this is a sine function. Then again taking real number a, small quantity which belongs to R, then f of a, which is equal to, we have taken sine, so we will write here sine a, and limit x tends to a f of x, which is equal to limit x tends to a sine x, which is equal to sine a after taking limit. So now this sine a and this sine a both are equal, hence the function Sin x is continuous for all its real values in its domain. Similarly, you can take for cosine f of x is equal to cos x, for cosecant f of x is equal to cosec x, for secant f of x is equal to sec x, and same thing, a real number can be supposed and limit x tends to a, same thing will be coming, just similar for everything. And cotangent also, tangent also, f of x is equal to tan x or cot x. So this way you will be proving. So that's all about 22nd.